We're here today. We invited everyone that involved into the Monterey Park Hope facility for the relocation and the opening of the new center, the healing center here. So everyone would know that we have moved to the new location. There are many folks that require continuous counseling, healing, getting together or attending workshops and so on so that they can go back to the normal life. So the mission is just ongoing, and up until last week we have one victim that have been secluding and staying by themselves for over a year and 9 months. Finally, they came out and seek assistance. So it showed the importance of the Monterey Park Hope Center and all the effort that all the collaborating organization and also the City of Monterey Park, the public agency, have put together. Finally, those that really have doubt, not sure, they come forth and looking for help. Well, if you have experienced anxiety or sadness or sorrow because you have someone that you know of or your family member or someone that you really care about that was lost, it doesn't matter it's because of the tragedy in the Lunar New Year, but of anything else, this is what we are here for. It is because of this tragedy that prompt everyone involved to have this center here. Is to the object is to help those that got affected by anything that related to this incident to come forth, and we can offer the assistance that we can give you. Well, I wanted to thank all of the organizations that have collaborated throughout the whole year and 10 months now, and also the public agency from the state, from the federal government, from the county, and also, of course, from our beloved city of Monterey Park and the surrounding city community. Everyone is just so supportive to help us go through this difficult time, and hopefully with this we continue and then get everybody have some kind of a comfort and healing. I know his life is not going to be the same because of that. It affected so many people, including us. So we are together. So please be well.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here this morning. How do you like it so far? Have you seen all the space and everything? Have you seen? Okay. Do I get a yes or a no? Okay. All right. Sounds good. So welcome, everyone, to the MPK Hope RC grand opening and ribbon cutting. It'll be a very short program today, followed by a ribbon cutting ceremony. And to have our welcoming and opening remarks, please a round of applause for our CSC board chair, and also he's from the city of Monterey Park, the Mayor Pro Tem, Vin Go.
Thank you, Daisy, and welcome, everyone. It is a pleasure to open this Hope Resiliency Center in the city of Monterey Park. We've been around, as many of you know, we've been operating at Service the Park, and thank you to the city and staff. Shout out to Robert for allowing us to be there for, it seemed like 18 plus months now. And just having the community engaged in this. Having the ability to have the community just walk to the park and the Resiliency Center to just have the discussion, the open dialogue. It's all about mental wellness, and we needed a lot of that after January 1st last year. I also want to thank our many partners who have been with the Resiliency Center to serve our community. And then, of course, our distinguished guests who will have the ability and will address everyone. So welcome, everyone. After this is done, we'll have everyone do a little tour of the place. Brand new construction. Put the walls up on purpose so that there's privacy for the community to be here, and then for private counseling, mental well-being, mental wellness on the other side of the partition. So just a quick shout out to our board, Joseph Chang, who's our board vice president. And of course to Peter Ng, who is our CEO. And you will see many of our staff who have the CSC logo. They're the ones behind all of this work, all the operations. That's the key to this operation, and that's the key to serving the community. So thank you and welcome.
Thank you, Vin. Our next speaker, very important person, very important lady. Actually, she needs no introduction, but she is our voice. She is our hero in DC. She speaks for us. She sees what's going on. She comes to the ground. She's at every community event, so she knows what's going on. You asked her about something last night, she goes, "Oh yeah, I was there, yeah." So to me, I'm just so proud of her, and I think everyone here is. She is our very first Chinese American female elected to represent us in DC, Congresswoman Judy Chu.
Well, how wonderful it is to be here at the grand opening of the permanent location of the Monterey Park Hope Resiliency Center. It is so wonderful to see this beautiful construction, all the privacy that this will allow those who come here. And I know it took a lot of work to make this happen, so I want to thank CEO Peter Ng, all the staff, and I want to thank you for putting up the initial funds, resources, and manpower to open up this center. And I want to thank the whole city of Monterey Park, Mayor Thomas Wong, the whole city council of Monterey Park for responding to the needs here and getting this center off the ground. It was over a year ago when a gunman walked into the Stardance studio on Lunar New Year, killing 11 people, gravely injuring 9 others, and leaving dozens of survivors traumatized. Our city was in shock, but in the aftermath, our community came together. And I will be forever grateful to the Chinatown Service Center, who was so instrumental in getting us to come together. I know I wanted to do outreach to each of the victims' families and to those wounded. And it was the Chinatown Service Center that allowed me to do that and also gave us private facilities so that we could actually meet and they could express themselves in that very, very traumatic moment. And I am so grateful to Washington, D.C., who responded to my call for help. We had a series of visitations, including our Secretary of Health and Human Services, Javier Becerra, who came and did a roundtable on the mental health aspects of gun violence. And we had Small Business Administrator Isabel Guzman, who came. We toured the small businesses around the shooting, and she determined that this would be something that could be declared a disaster. Hence, all the small businesses would be eligible for an extremely low interest economic injury disaster loan, and with very, very generous payback terms. So I am proud to announce that actually 75 businesses took advantage of that, which is really tremendous. And then, of course, we had Vice President Kamala Harris come within days to console the victims, and President Biden coming himself to honor those who lost family members and to console the entire community. I was with him for the 2 hours, actually, that he spent with the victims' families, and I think that that went a long way towards their healing. And I was also proud that he made his announcement on executive actions to stem gun violence, and also that it included an expansion of red flag laws, which then led me to do a bill to make sure that our red flag laws are understood by our immigrant community, so it would mandate outreach to them, because this shooter clearly was mentally deteriorating and also gathering ammunition, which would have made him a tremendous candidate for this red flag law. But I don't think anybody in the community knew about that. Well, with this bill, we can remedy that so that such horrible acts of violence could be prevented. And so this Resiliency Center is so significant. It will allow us to continue on this path of healing. We know that similar resiliency centers have opened in Uvalde, Parkland, Buffalo, and Las Vegas, other places where there were horrific mass shootings. And each one of these centers responded to the community's unique needs and circumstances. And they've allowed hundreds of people to navigate their grief and healing process by providing counseling, therapy, and community support in a welcoming and non-threatening way. Now, already, this Monterey Park Hope Resiliency Center has served as a guiding light in the community's healing process and has already supported over 13,000 residents through a variety of resiliency courses. And I am so glad that it does it, like I said, in a non-threatening way, because we know that there's a mental health stigma in our community. And so to have yoga and music therapy and art therapy and therapeutic journalism, as well as individual grief counseling and therapy, is very, very wonderful. And of course, to have the most important thing in this context, dancing classes, so that these survivors could dance again. But despite this, we have a lot more work to do, because while the demand for service is high, many people in the Asian American community still hesitate to seek help because of cultural stigma. Many people are very unfamiliar with the symptoms of mental health issues or the resources that are available to them, which is why the Chinatown Service Center is so important. Over the last year, they've built so much trust among community members, and as a result, more and more people are seeking help. So I hope you can spread the word that this is such an important resource, and that, in fact, actually, the Chinatown Service Center is the leading source of mental health counseling, not just here, but also in its other facilities in the San Gabriel Valley. But today would not be possible without the collaboration of community groups, government, and critical nonprofits. And that's why every year I request the highest possible funding for the Department of Justice's Office of Crime Victims Fund, which administers the Federal Anti-Terrorism and Emergency Assistance Program. Chinatown Service Center has applied for a grant from that program, and I'm working with them to get this application across the finish line. I understand that they're approved, but we have to make sure that the money actually comes forth, because no community should have to face this kind of tragedy alone and without resources. So my office will continue to be here for everybody to provide any support that we can during our path to resiliency. Once again, thank you to the Chinatown Service Center and to all the partners who are here today. And please let me present a certificate of congressional recognition to the Monterey Park Hope Resiliency Center for this grand opening of the permanent facility. Congratulations.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
And now from this beautiful city of Monterey Park, Mayor Thomas Wong.
Thank you. Congresswoman Chu said I just want to ditto everything she said about how much Chinatown Service Center and so many of the partners, Suchi and many others who came in to support our community here in Monterey Park in our darkest time. And it's hard to believe it's been almost 20 months, I think 20 months, I'm trying to count, since the mass shooting that really broke our community and so many communities and so many people who have links to the city of Monterey Park in our community here. But to see, one, the excitement and really the appreciation today for Chinatown Service Center and our partners for building out and opening this permanent resiliency center is exciting for me to see. But of course, this is just a continuation of
Chinatown Service Center, CSC's investment and presence here in Monterey Park in the San Gabriel Valley. So thank you so much to Peter, to the board for CSC, and all the staff for all that you've done for years and years, for decades, pouring into the Chinese American, the Asian American, and the San Gabriel Valley community. And thank you for taking this additional next step. And I know you've continued to cover the costs, and we all appreciate Congresswoman Chu's continued championship. We know that funding from the federal government, from any government for that matter, can take time, but appreciate that CSC is really taking a step out and a risk to make sure that these services are provided in the interim, to make sure that our community has the resources and the services that it needs to continue this healing process that we know doesn't end after a year or 2 years. It's in many cases a lifelong process for many people who have suffered that trauma. And so we appreciate all the community partners and everyone in the community that have stepped up to pour into our community and support each other and to pull each other up as well over these last 20 months. And we look forward to the next few years at least of continuing these resources and supportive services for our community, and also to CSC, Tsuchi, and many others who are working to break the stigma of mental health issues and to continue to encourage more people to access and to reach out for these kind of services. Thank you so much. And again, thank you. I just have a lot of thank you, sorry. Thank you to Congresswoman Chu as well for championing our causes in DC and for resources on GVROs and red flag laws and continued implementation and gun control policy and common sense gun control and gun violence prevention measures at the federal level, at the state level, and locally as well. So thank you so much. So thank you, everyone. Also, quick shout out to the City Hall staff who helped to make sure that we got this place open as well. Really appreciate also the Parks and Recreation staff and many others who helped with the interim space at Sierra Vista Park that has provided services for thousands of people who have come through the Resiliency Center since the shooting. So thank you so much. I know this is a team effort, a community-wide effort, and will continue to be even in this permanent space. So really appreciate all that everyone here has helped to accomplish and to provide services for our community. With that, let me invite up my fellow council members to present a certificate. I think everyone but Jose might be here. But thank you on behalf of the City of Monterey Park and my fellow council members. We want to appreciate Chinatown Service Center and all our partners in opening up the permanent Monterey Park Hope Resiliency Center. Thank you for all that you do and all that you will continue to do and your commitment to our community and to those that are in need in Monterey Park and beyond. So thank you so much. If we invite Peter and the board members who would like to join us again to present this small token of our appreciation.
Thank you. Thank you, City of Monterey Park. And now, representing from the Office of Erie County Supervisor Hilda Solis is Edith Gonzalez, Deputy Director of District Operations.
Good morning, everyone. Well, I'm not sure there's much left for me to say. But I do want to recognize that today is World Mental Health Day. So what a tremendous opportunity to be here with you all this morning to celebrate the grand opening of the MPK Hope Resiliency Center. And I really just want to take an opportunity again to thank all of the incredible partners for their advocacy from day one, because we know that it was a tremendous, horrible day that will really live in infamy and has really affected, right, not just the victims, but generations to come. And we know that this center will continue to provide the available resources for all of those that are in need. And I really just want to thank all of the partners and especially recognize our hero as well, right? Brandon, who was able to stop another mass shooting from happening, but all of our incredible first responders who responded to the scene, our then city manager, Ron Bowe, who obviously acted, obviously Congresswoman, Supervisor Solis, and all the council who were really there from day one to offer all of the services and assistance that was needed, but also the Chinatown Service Center, Suu Kyi, who understood understood that there was a need, right, for translation services, for getting the proper information out. Our DMH folks as well. I mean, everyone just really came together during a time of tragedy to really just support one another. And I think that's really what our community is about supporting one another during a time of need and ensuring that we're there for whatever's needed. So I really just, again, want to thank everyone for coming together. And I also have a certificate of recognition for all of the incredible work that's been put forward. And we also look forward to our continued partnership with the Chinatown Service Center, the City of Monterey Park, and please count on our office for anything that you may need. Thank you.
Thank you, Edith. And for our last speaker, cannot do without. This man is the leader, and he has so much dedication that he put into CSC for many, many years. You know, I have to say, and I hate to admit it, but I've known the guy for almost 40 years. But without his leadership, I mean, a lot will not have happened. He always say he doesn't take the credit. He shares it with the whole team of CSC. He always says it takes a village. Without further ado, please welcome our CEO, Peter Ng.
Thank you, Daisy. Congresswoman Judy Chu, our Mayor Thomas Wong, and our City Councilman member Henry Lowe, Mayor Pro Tem Bingo, and also, of course, beautiful Yvonne Yu, and all the dignitary esteemed guests, and our partner, good morning. I'm very happy today that have all of you to come and help us to acknowledge this opening of the relocation of the new place of Monterey Park Hope Center. As you all know, since the shooting, we have many victims. And for us, Chinatown Service Center, we have been established for over 53 years. So we work with the community. We work with the government agencies. We help so many people, immigrants, at a time of need. However, when a tragedy such as the mass shooting happened, the magnitude, it's just unspeakable. There's no way that Chinatown Service Center can handle this. But luckily, we are all living in one community. Every nonprofit, every government agency stepped up and helped. And we are just so grateful that being here in Monterey Park for over 30 years now, for CSC, and we have so many get-together. It's just kind of a natural way that we grew together, and we formed a big team to help those victims. At first, we thought only 20 and their family members, but eventually it spread out so many people. And now, today, like Congresswoman Judy Chu said, we have over 13,000 people that come forth to seek help through this center. This is due to the effort of everyone involved, everyone that committed to give. I know that the funding for this center is going to come because we trust our government. We trust Congressmember Judy Chu. Her voice means a lot to us. When she said, we got to do something, it is her at the time when it happened, the victim were just stay home. They don't want to come forth because they're not sure how are they going to being helped or handled. But Congresswoman reached out to each one of them and met with each one of those families at our clinic just down the street, privately. It is from then they start opening up, and gradually every single one come forth. Then we do our part, and thanks to our partner, there's many organizations raise funds, also contribute their effort and come forth and help. And then when we find out there's a possibility of setting up this resiliency center, at first we don't know because it's up to the state level, right, for the victims claim section. The county have their Department of Mental Health. They all come forth. However, this is not a 1 month or 2 months or a year. It will last for many times because it's going to relapse. People will think, maybe today they talk to someone and then when they sit back, they will think and come back to them. So the Resiliency Center is important. Then when we find out about that and everyone get together, then we were selected. Chinatown Service Center was selected. But the funding part, it takes time. But because we have Congresswoman Judy Chu, she told us, go ahead, help people, and that's what we do. We help people, doesn't matter what it is, because that's the time when they need it. I know the funding will come. We trust our government. We've been helping each other. We work with them for many, many years. So I wanted to thank the city of Monterey Park. When we needed a place, all the city council, all the city manager and Robert from Park and Rec come together and say, hey, come to our Sierra Vista Park. We have a facility. Have it there. So in August of 2023, just about 8 months, we opened over there at the Sierra Vista Park. And we've been helping folks, and then turn out the place is getting smaller and smaller because more and more people come. So there's a need for us to get a bigger place, and that takes more money. So we have to change our application because it needs a lot more funding for that, and then that probably caused a delay as well. But luckily we have here, and then during the process, I want to thank the city also to help to push the renovation of this place, such as the sign up there. We called up last week, it's not up there yet. Would you please approve the sign if it's okay? So they did it. So this is just one example of the collaboration of the assistance from everyone, down from the local city, the county, the state, and of course from our federal government. So this place is for the victims. It's from all of the help from each one of you. So please remember, we believe in karma, we believe in good deed. So whatever you do here, we appreciate it, all the collaboration, all your assistance, and on behalf of the victims and anyone that affected by this tragedy, thank you and be well. Thank you. I also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the partners that we have for the Resiliency Center. There are several organizations throughout. I just want to name a few major ones. The Chiji USA, we have many of the Chiji members here. Thank you so much. I have the Advanced Justice Southern Cal, Harold Christian Health Center, the SSG Silver Group, and also the SSG, the Asian Pacific Counseling and Treatment Center. Thanks to this organization, we were able to carry on and give the services to all the victims that we have. Now, besides them, we also have, of course, the Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health also involved tremendously, and also the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office that helped the victim as well. And we also enlisted the UCLA Center for East-West Medicine and also the UCLA Mindfulness Center to help us. So all of these, just to name a few. If I miss anyone, please forgive me, and let's continue the good work to help the victims. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. This concludes the remarks portion of the event. Now we're going to move forward with the ribbon cutting.
MPK